field starting to work their way up there as well. They'll be going slowly through 12, 13, and 14. Race director Joel Miller asked for a quicker start yesterday to be able to stretch them down and not have everybody standing on top of each other into one. It worked out very well. It'll be a little bit interesting here. Remember, we've seen drivers go off at the end of the straightaway in the opening lap. It's going to be very different here today. These drivers don't know what the wet is like. We had a test here at the end of April. It was supposed to rain on the Tuesday. It did not. So this is going to be the first time down at speed. Remember this, folks. Drivers are going to look to check up. Visibility will be low, and they have not rolled into the corner. We are green flag racing. Green, green, green. 5 wide down into turn number 1. Right to the inside there is Martella. He's going to try to come out with P2. He'll go to the outside of the racetrack. Can Martella come out with the lead again? He does not. Weldon goes P1. Martella's going to go to second. Garzone up into third. I think that on the inside is potentially Cooley for fourth, but he is challenging with Majman. Brad Majman's gone back to potentially fifth spot. Everybody clean and green, nicely done through turns number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll tell you this, climbing across the chicane there, that is trouble because the minute these guys get on the paint, it is super slippery.
You can see the rooster tails coming off the back of the car. We have a potential pass going down into turn number 7. Oliver Weldon still holds on to that lead.
Yeah, Garzone got a good run out of the opening couple of corners. He was third out of turn number 2, but he finds himself going to the lead right now. The Colombian to the inside. Book it. He'll take over the lead. Garzone covers to the bottom of turn number 10. New leader on the opening lap. Garzone goes to the lead. Second is Weldon. Third, Martella. Fourth, Cooley. Great opening lap here for USF 2000.
Boy, Brad Majman really got lost in the opening lap there, headed down into turn number 1. They got 5 wide. I think he checked up a little bit. He may have fallen back to that 6th position, so certainly going to need to make up some ground as this race progresses.
Michael, when we're 5 wide into turn number 1, somebody has to check up out of there. We do have a yellow flag. A driver is off. That is going to be the number 93. Hate to see that for Gabriel Kahn, the exclusive Autosport driver. Looks like he may have spun and got high-sided. That's one of the things here. You could potentially get high-sided on the racetrack. So Kahn is off of the 93. Hard to see if there's any damage on the race. Oh, yeah, you can see the bent rear there.
Yep.
So something with the left rear, contact with Gabe Kahn. For these drivers, they're going to at least be able to come back for another race. They have their third event here this afternoon. Back-to-back here this morning with USF2000 and then USF Pro 2000 right afterwards. They're having a look at that race car now. It seems to me, from what I can see, a potential bend here in the suspension in the back part of the race car, but I don't know. Maybe that's just a shadow.
It might be a shadow. That's an odd look there, but I see what you're seeing.
It could just be the shadow of the wing coming across there from where he is with the sunshine. They're going to pull him back out because remember, one of the things you can see right now, the AMR IndyCar safety team will always give a good look. Now, they are pointing at it right now, Michael. I think there's a good possibility there is some damage there. At least he'll be able to get himself back to the paddock or back to pit lane, and the team may be able to get him repaired again. So off and underway for the start of this one here. What a masterful opening lap for Sebastian Garzone, the point leader for D-Force Racing. The Colombian able to go by Oliver Weldon. What a fantastic battle, kind of over-under through turns number 7 and turn number 8. Oliver Weldon holds on to second. Martella to third. Cooley up to fourth. Beswick fifth. Majman sixth. Loiacono seventh. Ayrton Kahn, 8th spot. Started 9th. He got a spot, as did Loiacono. Ryan Janetta in 9th. And Joao Vergara up a couple spots into the top 10. And, yeah, indeed, he's going to have to climb that out of that race car. Tough one for Gabriel Kahn. We'll see him back here for race number 3 this afternoon. But, yeah, that's coming through the 7, 8, 9, 10 complex. Drivers, obviously, as we said, Michael, transitioning back and forth. You're climbing the curbs. As soon as you get on the curb with the paint, you think that the track is slippery when it's wet. The paint, absolutely zero grip whatsoever. So you almost have to be kind of straight going across there. When you roll on the throttle coming across a curb like that, very easy to snap spin.
What I think is interesting about this caution coming out when it did, we have 31 minutes remaining in this race. We don't see really this track drying at this point. To your point at the top of the race, it's very chilly out and it will not dry. The track will not dry as quickly as it would if it was maybe sunny and 80 degrees. Yep. It's going to take a little while, but we can kind of see next to the walls a little bit of dry patches here and there, but this will certainly make it interesting towards the end as we see the field making their way down, trying to find the wettest portion of the track. That's the outside and the inside, up by the walls where that water will sit, trying to keep these tires as cool as humanly possible to keep them for the longevity of the remainder of this race.
I'll tell you who's really watching this right now, and that is the USF Pro 2000 teams as well. Okay, are we going to be the category that transitions from wet to dry? We're not having a lot of green flag running here, so we're not warming the tires up. That's going to make things very, very interesting to see whether or not the transition comes for USF 2000 or USF Pro 2000. It's going to be a beautiful day here, so sooner or later we will be transitioning to dry tires. If it happens between one of the gaps, maybe you'll be able to go out on the dries, but it seems to me that more than one driver involved as well. I think the aid of Eric Holm, Jay Howard, driver development pilot, involved in that one as well, Michael. So 2 drivers out of this one here. That leaves us 18 on track to get the green when we get this all cleaned up.
I will say, hats off to Sebastian Garzon. A heck of a move. Tried to make the pass over Oliver Weldon into turn number 7. Completed it in turn 8 and 9. But more so, I'm hats off to Oliver Weldon. I think he did not want to force the issue yesterday. He said he made a couple of mistakes and really had that issue down in turn 13. I think he settled back in, thinking big picture instead of trying to keep that lead in the early portion of this race.
Get out of the opening lap, right? He wants to lead it, but if you go to second, that's fine. He needs number one needs a result, but no need to fight it out on the opening circuit. Again, Continental Tire, folks, is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the USF Pro Championships. Our cutting-edge technology and unbeatable grip will help you dominate the track. Continental Tire, where performance meets precision. Learn more at ContinentalTire.com. Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. The USF Pro Championships would like to welcome guests from race car manufacturer Tatuus. In addition to our outstanding group of partners and friends, Tatuus is busy working on our next generation USF Pro 2000 chassis, which will begin prototype testing later this year in preparation for its debut in 2028. We've got Gianfranco DeBellis, Leonardo DeBellis is here this weekend, so great to have the president of Tatuus Race Cars with us here this weekend. And guys, I've seen some renderings of the new car for 2028. It looks fantastic, and it's going to lean more towards what you see for Indy Next. So think turbo, think push to pass. So a great, again, what do we do for the USF Pro Championships, right? We're here to train drivers to move to Indy Next. The next Lucky Hughes, the next Nikita Johnson, Max Taylor, Alessandro DiTullio, Miles Rowe, you name it, the drivers who have moved up, Max Garcia. So for our car to be maybe a little bit closer to that performance and that, what you need to do as a driver using push to pass, I think it'll be a really good addition to our program.
And that's what happened with that Indy Next by Firestone car. They wanted it to be more like an NTT IndyCar Series car, so it's easier and more comfortable transition for drivers as they grow and develop and move their way through the ranks of these series.
Looking at the point standings here as we have some time, Sebastian Garzon with that strong second-place finish yesterday, 88 points. He has 34 markers, a full race ahead of Joao Vergara. Brad Majman in the 3rd spot. Leonardo Scorpioni, although he's moved up to the Pro 2000 category, still sits 4th based on a couple of podium finishes at St. Petersburg. Eddie Beswick in the 5th spot. Ayrton Khan and Gabe Khan in 6th and 7th. Anthony Martella was 22nd, I think, yesterday in points. That victory moves him up into 8th. Now, he's significantly back still, but he jumped himself up into the top 10. Evan Cooley with a 3rd-place position yesterday after a couple of DNFs at St. Pete. He moves up into 13th. So a couple of drivers who I expected to be in the championship contention who got DNFs in the opening rounds, fought back nicely in round number 3. And Michael, as we know, you and I have called races for many years together. It's early in the season. We're a long way from the finale at Road America. Anything can happen when you get to some of these racetracks.
Well, these drivers do not like to talk about the standings this early in the season because, to your point, anything can happen. And for Martella, what happened yesterday, it's anybody's game. Yep. And a couple of DNFs, and it'll turn everything upside down.
Like I said, every racetrack we go to has a first corner, and that first corner is perilous for anybody, even the point leaders. So looks like we're lining things up to potentially get back at it here. And indeed, when we do, the punch-off to go green is anywhere between turns 13 and 14, so you can get on the throttle early. Our Honda Civic Type R pace car rolling its way back to pit lane, and indeed look for Garzon to try to get on it right out of 13. Set him up for the inside of 14 and get that run. Look at that, great punch. What a start for Garzon. Looks like he caught Weldon napping a little bit. He's going to have a look at the gap that he has coming out onto the front straightaway. Cooley, though, up on Martello, so potential battle between the two exclusive Autosport cars. Watch for Cooley to tuck to the inside. He does. Open racetrack for Cooley to the bottom. He's trying to go to P3. Outside's always a bit better on the racetrack. We'll go into that in a couple of seconds for those of you new to watching our program here. Almost contact between the two team drivers. There was contact. Cooley thought better of it. Further back, Jay Howard, D-Force, Pabst, D-Force battles further back in the pack there. Wow, that was tough going into that corner. You see the two exclusive Autosport drivers, Martella and Cooley, almost together on the exit. That's allowed Weldon to get a little bit more room. Drivers just slinging those cars through the chicane now, but a great start for Sebastian Garzon. That's one of the interesting things, Michael, about a racing line in the wet. Yeah, you want to run the race line, but that's where all the rubber goes down. That's where all the oil kind of seeps out of the cars and goes onto the racing line. Oil and water don't mix. We all know that. So oftentimes the fast line is way around the outside. It doesn't look right, but on the outside where there's not much rubber, you're going to find more grip out there. A lot of the times you'll see drivers having that wide line when possible.
Watching Majman try to make his way back through the field as he started in the front row, now down in that sixth position. But back to the Cooley-Martella incident down into turn number one. They were side by side all the way through, to your point, that outside line trying to carry that speed and then have the inside line working turn number two. It was touch and go there for a second. They thought better of it, and they aborted that battle and potentially could have took each other out.
And remember, dancing on the edge of adhesion there, too, in the wet weather. So I'm going to give a shout-out to Evan Cooley there. He probably could have forced the issue, but did not. We do have a potential fight, though, here as Eddie Beswick getting a run here. Beswick's going to go on the outside. Look at Martella trying to go to the outside on Weldon as well. Does he have a nose in there? He does not. Good fight for second. Good fight for fourth here as well, as Martella going to work on Oliver Weldon. Weldon, the rookie driver, surrounded by veterans because Garzon, Martella, Cooley, Beswick, Majman, all in their second year in the program. And here, as we got the potential move, side through, not quite enough. Way to the outside goes Cooley. Martella got checked up coming out of four. He thought he had the move to the inside coming into the chicane. He does not. Cooley's going to go into third. Martella's going to have to defend from Beswick now. Good stuff here in USF2000. Way around the outside. Cooley can't quite get it done. Beswick does slide to the inside of Martella. Majman back up here as well. Garzon says, boys, have at it. I'm just going to run away. P1 looking for his third win of the season. Weldon has hands full. Cooley gets a good over-under. Beautiful over-under through turn number 10 through 11. Book it to the inside. Cooley goes to P2.
Wow, Beswick and Cooley, some bold moves down the back straightaway through Holman Boulevard and into turn number 7. Both those drivers with fantastic maneuvers through that quick S little area of 7 and 8. But that's all good for our leader right now, Sebastian Garzon, because he is flat checked out.
Well, if you enjoyed that Indy Next wet session yesterday, the late in that run, this is where these learned it. They learned it here in USF2000, USF Juniors in the pro category, battling wheel to wheel in the wet. So when they do get to the top levels of the IndyCar ladder, they're able to go at it in tough conditions like this. Look at Garzon's massive lead right now. Cooley runs into second, and look at Beswick trying the outside here as well. Lots of guys coming back into the fight as well behind those leaders that we have, because we've got Majman there, Liam Loiacono, Ayrton Kahn, Ryan Giannetta. They're getting themselves up into the fight there as well. So the scrap for second on back is bringing everybody back into the battle, but not for P1, as Garzon and that beautiful blue and white D-Force machine out and running. And this team, they've won USF Juniors Championships. They've won USF2000 Championships. They're fighting for potential titles in both 2000 and Juniors this year. D-Force Racing looking to take a massive early lead if Garzon can bring home another victory.
Oliver Weldon doing his best to hold off Eddie Beswick. Beswick all over that rear wing, making their way through turn 7, 8, and now turn number 9 as they set up for turn number 10. Beswick was dogging that rear wing down Holman Boulevard, gets a nice run out of turn number 10. Still about a 2-car deficit. Weldon has that advantage over Beswick, but Beswick on the charge.
Being told a driver off the racetrack over in turn number 7. Not hard to blow the braking zone there. Sounds like the car number 10 of Elias Vignola. There he is there. Back onto the racetrack for Vignola. Again, full-timer in USF Juniors this year. A rookie there. His debut here in USF2000 this weekend. We're throwing all the different conditions at him here today. Garzone, massive lead as the drivers, you can see. The track's still very glossy, still very wet. We are not going to transition to dries during the USF2000 race. That is for sure. We're going to the 2/3 mark here momentarily. 9 laps down, 6 to go. The battle continuing further back as Weldon trying to hold off the Lions as they are lined up behind him. Beswick, Martella, Majman, Loiacono, Ayrton Kahn 8th, Ryan Janetta 9th. And how about a run for Callahan Peter up into 10th spot? The driver from Fishers, Indiana. The home race for Callahan Peter started dead last in race number 1 and was able to work his way up into the top 10 for a time. Started 19th in this one. He's up into 10th position, +9 for Peter. That is huge for a local driver to have a good run here on a Saturday morning.
Can't imagine the dream of actually running at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and fulfilling it now. I watched Eddie Beswick as he exited turn number 5, got up on that curb again, and to your point, very slick there, upset the balance of the car. He lost a couple of car lengths on Oliver Weldon, so Weldon able to breathe easy for the moment as we have a battle right behind them.
Oh, I had to hold my breath on that one because they interlocked wheels coming through. That was Majman looking to the inside of Martella coming through turn number 10. And good for Majman to back out of it a little bit there because he didn't have the pass done. Lunged down to the inside to the apex. Martella gave him enough room, and that was a veteran move for Martella as well, not to try to force the order and pinch down. That would have easily have been left front to right rear contact. Both those drivers would have been out unless Martella with the win yesterday. Majman, he had the contact with Weldon yesterday. He's got to be thinking about getting a result. He can't do it again trying to battle for 4th spot right now. You got to keep digging and don't make those mistakes because he needs to put some points back on the board.
And for Majman to be where he was on the outside of row number 1, falling back, he's just trying to get back into that top 5. But to your point, big picture racing right now. It's still 18 minutes remaining in this race.
Shout out to everybody who is joining us here this morning from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the USF Pro Championships YouTube channel or on the downloadable USF Pro Championships app, or if you're trackside with us already here for what's going to be a fantastic day as part of the Sanzio Grand Prix. Awesome to have you with us here, and we know it was with the international field. People are tuning in from Australia, New Zealand, all the different countries. Sweden, we talked about as I went through the countries that are part of the program here in USF 2000. Thrilled that you're tuning in to watch the broadcast here today from the world's greatest race course.
Beswick and Martella really going at it. That battle for the 4th position as they work their way through turn number 8. Now that left-hander of turn 9.
He's by, Michael.
Yep.
Yeah, Beswick has made the move. Beswick goes to 4th. Martella 5th. Majman 6th. Look at this. Martella right up on him again. Martella wants to get back up there. He's doing a great job right now running P5 and just trying to get some more points. But I think he feels he's got a hot rod that's going to be able to get by Beswick. Able to hold off Majman, as we know, a couple laps ago. So we've kind of swapped things over. Now it's no longer Beswick going after Weldon. It's this battle side by side coming through. Look at Martella. Look at the over-under. Big wide run to the outside for Beswick. Who's going to come away with this? Martella has a huge run. And he's going to leverage the draft still. Zero visibility on the bottom. They're trying to keep those tires cool. Watch for Martella to pop out coming down here into the braking zone. And he does. He'll go way wide. A lot of grip on the outside there. Can he hold the outside? I think he has it.
Wow.
Beautiful pass from Martella to the outside. Book it. He'll go to P4. What a great overtake for Martella. Down to the bottom to cool the tires, zero visibility, pop back out where there's grip, able to run around the outside. That was textbook, Michael.
And now Majman on the charge as well. He's going to try to get around Beswick. So Martella with that opportunity there. Now it's Majman who started on the outside of row number 1, trying to get back into that top 5. That battle ensues down into turn number 7.
I want to see, now, number 1, that battle we're talking about with Beswick and Majman, that's PAPS. That's a team battle, too, right? So they're going to have to give each other room. It's whether or not Martella has enough here over the final 4 laps to potentially reel in Oliver Weldon, or does Beswick come right back at him? Because right behind the 2 PAPS cars is Liam Loiacono. 5 wins last year in USF Juniors, a very talented young Australian driver. His dad, Paul Loiacono, saw him in the paddocks come over from Australia here. His mom, Kath, comes up to a number of races. Long trek, as we know, from Australia to be part of the action here in the USF Pro Championships. But indeed, Loiacono stepping things up here in the wet. Got the 2 PAPS cars right in front of him. Does he find a little more? Looks to me like Martella is stretching away a bit here. 12 laps in, 3 to go for Sebastian Garzone. The lead now 3.9 seconds. But Martella, big time up on the wheel. last time by, 0.2 quicker than Weldon, but he's 1.3 back. 3 laps remaining. He'll want to get close enough to potentially leverage that draft. Here's the 2 Pabst drivers side by side. Not quite enough. Not quite enough right now. Oh, but there are some. What a.
Majman, what a great pass.
Hung on the inside and outside.
And
Beautiful.
it's not done yet. They're getting ready to go through the switchback, but Majman, the 2 went side by side, the teammates, and what a great pass by Majman down into turn number 1.
I'd written it off. I'm like, there's no way, but I don't think that Beswick could get the power down. He tried to get back to it. Great run for Majman. Had the inside, and of course, they needed to give each other room. And here comes Loiacono. Does he get them both coming down into turn 7? Look for Loiacono to the bottom. Not quite enough. He's there, though. Good stuff here. And right behind Loiacono is Ayrton Kahn as well. So good to see this battling here right now. Ayrton Kahn finished in 6th yesterday, trying to get another top 10. Yeah, Ayrton's in 6th in points as well. So stacking him up here. Not on the podium yet, but just stacking up great points.
3 laps to go. Garzone, Cooley, and Weldon, your top 3. And for Oliver Weldon, that battle behind him, he was really under attack for 2 to 3 laps, and now he's able to gap himself. Not as much pressure with the closing laps in this race number 2.
Looks to me like Martella continues to push. I think he probably grabbed a couple more tenths of a second. You can see how much closer he is up on the top part of the racetrack. No one else going to the bottom and try to keep those tires wet. It's still damp enough up top. I think they're feeling like the grip is there. 13 laps, 2 to go. This time, Weldon, another 0.2. Yeah, Martella, another 0.2 quicker, but it's 1.1. He's got enough of a gap. Loiacono now going to work here on Beswick. They'll be side by side, the 2 Aussies. In fact, they're all Aussies right now. Oh, look, this side by side action. You can see the car of Loiacono getting a little loose. He'll throw it to the bottom in turn number 4 as well. Oh, clears them. Beswick, Loiacono, and then. Majman, Loiacono, Beswick. All Aussies. Running now in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Michael, they're just running so close together. I love seeing this kind of control, driver control, car control, and they're giving each other just enough respect. Loiacono.
Oh, no, he went off.
Deeps it in turn number 7. That's going to put Ayrton Kahn up another spot. In fact, Kahn's going after Beswick here as well. So Liam Loiacono, 2 deep into turn number 7, goes off. We'll see where he's able to rejoin.
Boy, Beswick has had his hands full these last 6 laps or so, just under attack every lap. So for Kahn, trying to get himself into that top 5 now, as Loiacono just overdrove down into turn number 7, and he will fall to the end of the field.
Another zip code for Sebastian Garzone, as he'll see the white flag from Aaron Likens here at start-finish. A massive lead for him. Martella continues to push. He's about 0.2 of a second quicker a lap here on Weldon, but I think it's going to be too little too late for the Canadian. Lap 14 goes to the books. Both those drivers turn 35.3, so Weldon holding on to the spot. Here's this battle between Kahn and Beswick. I like it. Ayrton Kahn battling potentially here for that 6th position. Loiacono fell down into 13th. That moves Kahn up to 7th, Peter to 8th, Janetta to 9th, Gundler to 10th. Wesley Gundler was last at the start of this race. He's now up into 10th. Another top 10 pitch potentially here for Wesley Gundler. Michael, essentially the final battle here up front is this scrap right now for the 6th position between Eddie Beswick and Ayrton Kahn. But there's Garzone. Let's put the focus back on the driver who has been dominant from the get-go. Able to get out to an early lead, leverage the attack on Oliver Weldon for 2nd, pulled away cleanly. This would be 3 wins in 4 and nothing but top 2 finishes. He's been on the podium every race so far. The Colombian, who just a couple of years ago won both junior karting events at the SCUSA Super Nationals, the biggest karting event in North America, dominated the action there and was able to come away with a couple of wins. Not many people have done that. Lucas Oil School of Racing, Formula Car Series champion to win his scholarship to go into USF2000 last year. And if you want to start in any of these programs, this is how you do it. 3 victories in the 2nd. The winner of race number 2 here at Indianapolis is Sebastian Garzone. The D-Force driver wins again to stretch the point lead. Strong 2nd for Cooley. Evan Cooley in back-to-back podiums. He'll go P2 for Exclusive Autosport. And in his debut weekend at USF 2000, Oliver Weldon, Michael, the rookie, on the podium at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, that is good to see. A great run for not only Garzon and Cooley, but for Oliver Weldon to, after yesterday and that disastrous opening lap that put him in the back of the field, to see him on the podium, that will be a celebration in and of itself. Martella finishing in that 4th position. Mosman 5th, holding off. Bestwick was, or Ayrton Kahn holding off Bestwick for that, or vice versa for that final position, that 6th position. Bestwick comes home 6th. Kahn in that 7th position. Peter comes home 8th. Gunler and Gianetta finishes in the top 10.
Yeah, Wesley Gundler able to slide by Ryan Gianetta on the final lap. Callahan Peter plus 11. Started 19th. He goes up to 9th. The Indiana driver. Big one for him. Fantastic drive for Callahan Peter up into 8th spot. But yeah, Garzon absolutely perfect out of the get-go. Loiakido actually had the fastest lap, but Garzon wins by 3.4 seconds. There's your top 6 right there with Evan Cooley in 2nd, Oliver Weldon 3rd, Anthony Martella, Brad Majman, and Eddie Beswick. So just a tremendous battle. Another top 10 for Ayrton Kahn as well. The remainder of the field for the unofficial results there for you. But for Sebastian Garzon, man, I'll tell you, just every driver dreams of coming into a season like this, and we've seen a couple of drivers do it where they come out super strong, win a bunch of races. Miles Rowe did the same thing, Max Garcia. When you can win 4 or 5 races in the first half of the season, you almost put it on cruise control because then you don't have to force the issue. You'll take those 4th and 5th place finishes because you're just stacking points up. You know you're maintaining the gap all the way through to the finale.
And Garzon did a fantastic job. Once he got the lead, he literally checked out. But we remember those battles early with Oliver Weldon running in that 2nd position, and he finally got that rhythm, but that allowed Garzon to really check out from the rest of the field. And once Cooley got around Weldon, I think he was able to keep pace with Garzon, but it was too late by that time.
That's exactly what it was. Garzon, though, again, absolutely masterful in the wet. And I always like to see drivers earlier in the careers who's good in the wet, because that's you want to talk about that later on. When the rain does come, who do you expect to come to the forefront? So many of these young drivers coming through karting do a lot of wet weather racing in the karting events. It transitions, of course, into their time when they jump into the open wheel formula cars. And right now we know, check mark, Sebastian Garzon is going to like when it rains. So helmet coming off for that driver. There's Evan Cooley getting weighed out by the series officials. Awesome run for Evan Cooley, again, after a horrible weekend at St. Petersburg, a couple of podiums. But here comes the celebration here. Sebastian Garzon, 3rd win of the season. He does not like losing. Not much of a smiler when he's losing, but the smile ear to ear as Simon, his team owner, Ernesto Martinez, rolls in. There's Simon Sykes there, former USF2000 champion, now coach at D-Force Racing. Let's send it down to DJ Clark as he stands by with today's race winner.
Sebastian Garzon, a big fist pump into the air. You were able to get the victory here in dominant fashion. How special is this at IMS?
No, well, I literally don't have words. I just want to be thankful with God because He's always with me, trying to make me the good decisions. I want to thank my team, David, Ernesto, Simon, the whole crew, my mechanic, everyone, my family, my parents, my sister, my friends that always support me to do my best and now work for the race 3 to do the same.
Let's talk about the championship. 3 wins out of 4 races. How good of a position does this put you in?
No, well, really good. I'm trying to maximize my results. When I can win, if not, get a podium and work for the championship. And we are doing really good and get better every day.
If this guy keeps getting better, you better watch out because he is on a streak. That's Sebastian Garzon, your winner.
Michael, just a absolutely fantastic start to the season for Sebastian Garzon. The first win for D-Force Racing here in USF 2000 since Kiko Porto back in 2021.
Wow.
Always great for teams to find themselves in victory lane here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But again, this start is reminiscent to some of the ones we've seen by drivers who have found their way to the NTT IndyCar Series.
It's going to be interesting now that we've gotten through this USF 2000 race, USF Pro 2000 coming up next. And we had talked about transitioning from wet to dry. We're still a little up in the air on what will happen next.
Well, the thing is, we've got 15, 20 minutes right now. It'll be up to race director Joel Miller. Does the track seem like we could potentially go? The sun is out here. It's not very windy. That's the only thing right now. I don't know, Michael. We may see the transition come in the USF Pro 2000 races. I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to see it start dry, But for you and I, it could be fun if we hit the pits.
That's
sure.
right.
The drivers working their way up here to the podium. I'll be heading out there momentarily to talk to the first, second, and third place drivers when they get their hardware. All part of the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. 3 more races still on the docket here today. USF Pro 2000 drivers in their cars now on the mock grid back in the paddock. They'll be rolling out here momentarily. And then we'll have our break, of course, when IndyCar qualifying dominates the action here at IMS. Back at it with another back-to-backer before the end of the day. But again, we're still probably about a little over 20 minutes away from green flag for the USF Pro 2000 race. Michael, I'm going to head to victory lane. Give me a throw when we get a chance. The drivers are working their way up there right now. I think we're good to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Getting things underway here for the podium presentation for the Tatuus Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Let's bring out the driver finishing in third place today. Great drive for VRD Racing. Hands together for Oliver Weldon. Oliver, come over down here first. Let's have a quick chat. You didn't get to the finish yesterday. Today, talk about the grip level. You were getting attacked early. A podium's still great, but how tough was it out there?
Conditions were definitely pretty tough. I had to defend on the first few laps, and Garzone and Evan were, they got by me. So I kind of just put my head down and tried to keep it in third or potentially catch up, but came away with third, which is still good, but I'm super happy after yesterday.
Hop up on the podium. We'll get some hardware out here for you. Sean and Mia McLaughlin, some of our guests here this weekend, going to help us out here. Great to have them here with us. Oliver Weldon, his first podium in USF 2000 competition, full-timer in USF Juniors last year. That win is most definitely coming. Finishing in second spot, he is on the podium once again. 2 for 2 on podiums for Exclusive Autosport. Evan Cooley finishing P2 today. Evan, I asked Oliver a little bit about the conditions. What a pass for you to go to P2. Tell me a little bit about what your race was like.
Yeah, it was chaotic at the start. Everyone was learning the track. You know, we haven't driven in the wet this weekend, but learned the track quickly, got around people, settled in, and then held on to second till the end.
You got a third, you got a second. What's going to happen in race 3?
Hopefully we'll go for the top set.
Yeah. Boy. He wants to go for the cycle. Get up on top there. Let's bring out Gianfranco de Bellis, the president of Tatuus Race Cars, to present him with the trophy. Evan Cooley having a great weekend here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, bouncing back from a difficult Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Excellent job for him. But the driver coming home with another victory, folks. This is his third win of the season. He's been first or second in all 4 races. Put your hands together for D-Force Racing, Sebastian Garzone. Sebastian, just a real quick question. I know you talked to DJ Clark. 3 wins. Could you ever have thought the season was going to start like this?
Well, like I said in St. Peter, we have a really good car for this year. We have been working a lot last year. The test of the last year we were so fast, and we keep better in every test. And this is hard work pays off. So still work for the championship because it's just the start of the championship. So.
Congratulations, my friend. Hop on top of the podium. He knows what to do here as a race winner. Leonardo de Bellis will prevent the first place trophy to Sebastian Garzone. And as I said, that is 3 race wins to start the year for D-Force Racing. Last time they were victorious here, 2021 with Kiko Porto, but put Sebastian Garzone on the D-Force Racing resume in the history books for victors here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 2 different winners on the season. And again, what a fantastic drive for second for Evan Cooley in very tough conditions, coming home P2, third in race number 3. The logical progression would be a win in race number 3. We'll see if it plays out. And of course, great to welcome Oliver Weldon here to the podium at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good stuff for the drivers here in USF 2000. Starting to warm up a little bit here. Sun is coming out. The track was wet throughout the entire 15-lap duration. Are we going to see it potentially dry up? We don't go green for another at least 15, 16 minutes. So there's a possibility our race director may say this is a dry race. I'd say we're probably leaning towards still a wet race. It looked very, very damp. There was a lot of spray even on the final circuit out there. So we may see the transition from wet to dry come during the USF Pro 2000 race. That will activate the crew members. In the pit stops, we'll see only 3 crew members over the wall to make the pit stops. 1 jack man, a couple drivers on the wheels. They'll do the fronts, then the rears. Drivers will be back out. So it still comes down to just a couple of tenths of a second. Great stuff for Sebastian Garzone, off to a fantastic start to the season here. Swept both races at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Second yesterday, first place today here in a beautiful morning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But as we always do, the age-appropriate sparkling beverage for the drivers here. Guys, grip it and rip it. Let's have some fun. Champagne celebration here for the drivers in USF2000. One more race to go for these drivers here as they'll again come on track after IndyCar qualifying. Fantastic drive. All three of these drivers well done in tough conditions. Sebastian Garzón, once again, your winner here in USF2000. Short break, and Michael Young, Greg Gregstra, and I will be back for the call for USF Pro 2000, race number 1.